We are sinners. An evil entity rules over the earth, and these are the end times. Now, this is part of their sales pitch, right? These are the end times. Hurry. Take advantage of this offer. Get your salvation through indoctrination. Only get your elevation to a place of divine eternal bliss. It only costs you 10% of your income for the rest of your life in exchange for a lifelong indoctrination and a lie. The lie is these pessimistic myths are truths. This is what they attempt to sell people on. It is a sales pitch, you know. They're also pressuring you, like, oh, these are the end times. You better do it right now. Armageddon is imminent. Judgment Day is nigh. All right. So we're talking about predictions about the future, right? Prophecies. So practitioners of discovery religions, members of communities of faithful believers, religious authority figures claim the good entity chose prophets. The good entity revealed visions of the future to the prophets. Religious authority figures wrote down these visions of the future in a set of sacred scrolls. Religious authorities claim an ability to know how to interpret and translate these words. Religious authority figures say these words are exclusive divine revelations of spiritual knowledge about future events. The future events include the evil entity will have a son. The son of the evil entity will be an antichrist. The antichrist will rise to power. Right? The son of the good entity is a savior. The son of the good entity will return in a second coming as a warrior. A final, necessary, horrible war will be fought. The son of the good entity will have victory over the son of the evil entity. The good entity will have final victory over the evil entity. The good entity will judge all people. The good entity will find some people observed and obeyed the will of the good entity. Those people will be rewarded. Those people, the good entity will elevate those people to a place of divine eternal bliss. The good entity will find some people disregarded and disobeyed the will of the good entity. The good entity will punish those people. The good entity will cast those people down to a place of abominable infernal torment. It's important to realize that these predictions, these visions of the future, these apocalyptic visions of the future, espoused by practitioners of discovery religions, evangelical Christians, and others, are predictions about how a few paranoid, oppressive, violent people will behave after they have secured rule over the entire world. So the idea that the evil entity will have final victory over the good entity will have final victory over the evil entity, the idea that the good entity will have final victory over the evil entity is a prediction that the few paranoid, oppressive, violent people who rule over domestic territories will have final victory over the outsiders, meaning the few paranoid, oppressive, violent people who rule over domestic territories will rule over the entire world. Right? That is the suggestion there. And that the few paranoid, oppressive, violent people will judge all people. And we've already seen this happen. We've seen ethnic cleansing, we've seen concentration camps, we've seen a war against humanity, we've seen people elevated to a place of safety and refuge. The place of safety and refuge is a haven on earth. And we've seen people cast down to a place of danger and exposure. And the place of danger and exposure was a hell on earth. We've seen this. And the few paranoid, oppressive, violent people, prediction is the few paranoid, oppressive, violent people will judge all people. The few paranoid, oppressive, violent people will find some people observed and obeyed the will of the few paranoid, oppressive, violent people. And the few paranoid, oppressive, violent people will reward these people. The few paranoid, oppressive, violent people will elevate these people to a place of safety and refuge. A place of safety and refuge will be a haven on earth. And the few paranoid, oppressive, violent people will find some people disregarded and disobeyed the will of the few paranoid, oppressive, violent people. The few paranoid, oppressive, violent people will punish these people, and the few paranoid, oppressive, violent people will cast these people down into a place of danger and exposure. A place of danger and exposure will be a hell on earth. Some of these people will work as slaves under horrendous conditions until they either drop dead of starvation and or disease, and some of these people will be murdered upon arrival. We've already seen this. So it's important to understand that these predictions about the future, these apocalyptic predictions of the future that evangelical Christians and others traffic in, are predictions about how their tyrant, their master, is going to treat those people who did not enslave themselves to the will of their master, that did not collaborate with the tyrant.